in 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 your health. So the opportunity is getting to know your body and what it can do, and it's by creating a new skill for yourself. I believe health is living with intention in everything we do, and even when you're eh, have a certain disease like fibromyalgia, you have to really be more mindful of that as well. We all do, but it's even more so with a disease. So I'm going to share with you. I I, I was born with a form of cerebral palsy. It impacted the right side of my body. I had to wear a brace till I was 18. It's totally different than fibromyalgia, but I understand about illness and disease, and I want to make clear about that. At the same time, I just had a conversation with my mother this morning who has multiple sclerosis, and she's had it since about 25 or 30 years. And she's very much an inspiration. She goes to exercise class and goes to different programs, and people say, Ida May, you're such an inspiration. And she says, I don't feel like an inspiration. I feel like I'm freaking pain, I'm pain all the time, and I gotta deal with this. And I hear it. And my aunt had chronic fatigue syndrome, and they thought it was masked as MS for many years, and she passed away from um, bone marrow cancer about 5 or 6 years ago. Okay, so we all have we all have a story. We all have something that we have to deal with, and really understanding that wherever you're at right now is perfectly okay to really start in taking care of your body. Now, there was conversation about different things about supplements and things like that earlier. And I understand, I realize there's a lot of stuff out there, a lot of great companies out there, but also too is educating yourself, educate on all aspects of mindset, mobility, muscle, and metabolism. How do they impact your daily life? And you know what? It doesn't really matter about your health. It matters about what you want to take on in your life, what the things you want to do and share with your family and the people you love and care about. So what I want to do really, this is one of the things I wrote before. It's crucial to embrace a healthy lifestyle. You should not be worried about your health. You're living life taking out what matters most to you.
Mhm.
And I realize when you have a disease like fibromyalgia, there's a lot of things going on there. But also too is just be mindful. The more you actually start embracing these activities that will improve your health, you get to know what your body can do and what you can't do. And how do you really know if you're taking medication or you're not exercising, you're not taking enough nutrition, in hydration, how do you know how the disease is going to really truly impact you? Because your body is going to break down if it doesn't really take on. Like, so this is the biggest problem. The silent epidemic is muscle deterioration in modern life. Now, the truth is, in fibromyalgia, it's even more so. And most people when they go to the doctors, they focus on eating and nutrition, and they say go and walk or go swim. But are you really truly building lean muscle? What are the benefits of lean muscle? What does it really impact for you? So in terms of fibromyalgia, the key, you understand this. You suffer from pain, fatigue, sleep. You have trouble sleeping, cognitive difficulties. But we have lack of muscle tone can exacerbate the fibromyalgia symptoms, creating a cycle of discomfort and decreased mobility. The most important thing really is to get enough nourishment in the body to be able to improve mobility so you can perform the activities daily living. We're not running a marathon. We're not trying to lift buku bunch of weight. And that's not the issue. It's like how we can feel better about ourselves so we can move around throughout the day, right? So this is the big problem for the general population. After age 30, we actually lose 3 to 5% of our muscle every single decade. That's 1% per year after age 30, after age 40. Now, that's that's people that are somewhat healthy. Now, if you look at fibromyalgia, how's that really going to impact you? And so, really looking at the types of exercise that you're doing, how you're nourishing the muscle to be able to help perform it, those are really important. And most times it's glossed over, and strength training exercises are not, the first thing is really mobility. Um, I'm going to stop sharing my screen right now because I want to get in tune with everybody. And I'm going to talk it through. So, in terms of the 5 benefits of, like we talked about the problems, you have a problem with pain throughout the day, you have problems sleeping, you have a problem with mobility, and maybe your energy levels, and also your cognitive health is really impaired. But the thing is, the five benefits of healthy muscle and fibromyalgia is you actually will reduce your pain. You will actually improve your sleep. You will enhance your mobility, and you increase your energy levels. And there's truly many benefits to being mental health benefits to being having healthy muscle. I mean, one of the things that, in terms of mental benefits is really being present and also being more independent without relying on other people to be able to support you and help you. So one of the five benefits is pain reduction. There's a study that's shown that regular and moderate exercise strengthens muscle and reduces fibromyalgia pain. For instance, a study published in the Archives of Physical Medicine and Rehabilitation found that participants with fibromyalgia who engage in a tailored strength training program experience significant reduction in pain intensity.
Yeah, at once. Yeah, at once.
And then also look at the other benefit of improved sleep. Muscle strength is linked to better sleep quality and crucial aspect for fibromyalgia patients. Research in the Journal of Rheumatology revealed that patients who follow a consistent exercise regimen reported significant improvements of sleep patterns. Now, this is a challenge because when you talk about exercise regimen, people automatically go, let's go walk. Let's just be in a cardiovascular exercise class. But really taking time to really focus on certain exercises that improve range of motion and mobility, as well as muscle strength, because that's very important. And also, as I just mentioned about enhanced mobility, the stronger muscles improve mobility and reduces the risk of falls. Studying the clinical rheumatology journal highlights that fibromyalgia patients who participate in resistance training should improve functional movement, mobility. And so it's fine in the beginning stages of muscle, you are improving flexibility and mobility to improve range of motion so that you can get up and get around the day, get around the house and get around throughout the day, do things you really enjoy doing. And also too, again, the silent epidemic is the muscle deterioration in modern life is really impaired mobility and independence. We want to be more independent. So without strong muscles, our mobility and ability to perform daily tasks diminish, affecting our independence and quality of life, especially as we age. So also too, we're also concerned about increased energy levels, right? So increasing exercise boosts energy by enhancing the mitochondrial health in muscle cells. Bodybuilders with fibromyalgia. Study in Pain Journal demonstrates that the regular moderate exercise increases energy levels in fibromyalgia patients. And as we talked about the mental health benefits, really creating more independence for yourself, and there's definitely science behind endorphins that can improve your mood and reduce anxiety and depression symptoms often associated with fibromyalgia. So that's those are key elements of increasing the mitochondria to help and fight against depression and anxiety that also contributes to the fibromyalgia. Poor muscle health is not just a physical issue, it's correlated with increased risk of depression, cognitive decline, and reduced mental well-being. There's scientific science behind that. So I want to talk a bit about protein-rich diets, how to stay hydrated and vital nutrients. And really those are the four benefits to nourish your body. Protein-rich diet. We actually follow the low glycemic impact eating diet because it's the most scientifically studied program over the last 40 years. The reason being is because that gives you, allows you access to reduce the inflammation around your joints and also really gives you a broad range of opportunities to improve your health. The importance of hydration. So like a protein-rich, we'll talk about that. So a protein-rich diet, incorporate lean proteins like chicken, fish, beans, and tofu into your diet to support muscle repair and growth. So this is also too important because we're fighting disease. Illness and disease increases the body's need for proteins in order to heal. Oftentimes, the protein needs are far beyond what we can get from our daily diet. Thus, the breakdown of muscle occurs to meet the increased protein requirements. Individuals with lower levels of muscle mass will have greater difficulty meeting the demands caused by illness. So this is an increased opportunity that we need healthy muscle and we need a good sense of protein. And truthfully, it would be great to be able to get it through our natural food, but we know we can't do it. That's also to educating yourself on the types of nutrients you might need. And we promote more of not such a protein supplement or protein drink, but an overall enhanced program that gives plenty of fiber and diet at the same time and protein at the same time. So another thing is really important: stay hydrated. This is the misunderstood the impact of water in your body. Water is essential for muscle function. Dehydration can exacerbate fibromyalgia symptoms, so aim for at least 8 glasses of water daily. Now, that also can impact, that could not be enough 8 glasses of water depending on your activity level. And also, maybe because of certain diseases, you would actually need more water because you're trying to repair tissue. Um, but those are important aspects. And then also, to talk about vital nutrients. Ensure your diet includes magnesium, vitamin D, and omega-3 fatty acids, which are crucial for muscle health, can aid in reducing fibromyalgia pain. I know vitamin D and magnesium are very important in terms of fibromyalgia, but these are basic nutrients for life. And again, I'm not a doctor or a doctor or a chiropractor, so I can't tell you, you should take more magnesium or more vitamin D than the normal FDA requirements. We're not really allowed to do that. But at the same time, we may need to take more if we have certain diseases. But only a professional can actually give you those guidelines, a doctor or a chiropractor.
Um,
And then also too, way to nourish your body, consistent exercise routine. Now, low impact is just as critical as high intensity at the right amounts. But the best exercise for most everybody is swimming because it incorporates impact on muscle, but also great cardiovascular and low impact. Walking is a great exercise for lower body, and yoga is great for mobility. But again, like with yoga, what I find too is that I remember when I first started as a trainer many years ago, the the, the person who taught me, she said, there's fitness and there's yoga and bodybuilding. Yoga, there's some postures in yoga that are unhealthy, and same in bodybuilding, some things that you're going to be doing. But the basic foundation is fitness. So you be mindful of where you're at in terms of what types of exercise you're doing. It's just like in terms of exercises for strength training. Um, so really the biggest takeaway really is to embrace the power of muscle health in your battle against fibromyalgia. Start small and be consistent and nourishing your body with the right nutrients. Remember, every step towards a stronger muscle is a step away from the pain and limitations of your fibromyalgia. It's important to empower your body and empower your life. Begin your journey to improve muscle health today. Now, the thing is, with that being said, is really overall, most of you, I realize this, you may not incorporate an exercise or a solid exercise program. And most people think, well, I'm going to the gym, I'm exercising. Is it really right for you? Okay. Is it really right for you? Because it's okay to start where you're at, but go to a class and really, the instructor doesn't know who you are or generally gives you a blanket routine, doesn't always work. And you're learning a new, I've promoted this more so the last year because you are learning a new skill. How do you take care of your body? How do you take care of your body in the right way? Especially there's certain things. How do you know if generally speaking, there's physical activity, you're supposed to be exercising 3 to 4 days per week, doing strength training exercises. That's the guideline. Mobility exercises 5 to 7 days per week, and cardiovascular exercise is 7 days a week, 30 minutes per day. Now, if I told you to walk 30 minutes, can you? That's the guideline. But if you can only, I've had clients, one of my favorite clients, we walked out the door and I thought we weren't going to come back because he couldn't walk more than 500 feet. But he started walking 3 times a day, a minute or two at a time. He got up, and after about 2 months, he says, I'm having a problem. I can't get my heart rate high enough. And he's walking 40 minutes outside. But you know, the biggest muscle we worked on is the discipline muscle. You all have to have the discipline, especially when you have a disease, to really find the solution to the problem, to make yourself have more energy and more focus. And it's not easy because you have to get a knowledge of mindset, get a grip on your mindset, figure out how to get more mobility, improve healthy muscle, and improve your metabolism. And in terms of looking at eating habits, those are really important for you to embrace, to really know, am I getting enough food in my diet every day? It's important. You most times people aren't eating enough food, and you wonder why you're not feeling well because your body is slowing down. I remember when my daughter, I remember when my daughter was born, the doctors were all concerned because they said her TPN levels were low. And I was concerned, very concerned, because they had to feed her every 2 hours. And I said, well, what's wrong? They go, we just have to make sure he gets enough nutrients. And I said, well, in my world, I'm supposed to eat every 3 hours. And you got a little baby, tiny little baby. She's perfect, right? They need to give her nutrients, and she's going to give her 2 hours. And I thought, well, she'd be every half hour, an hour, because she's so small. No, she's fine. Her total protein levels were low, and they said we don't feed her every on a regular basis, her brain she'll slowly die, and her brain will start losing its function. That's what they told me. She would slowly die. Now, what happens when you stop eating? Your metabolism slows down to a point of reference where you're lethargic and tired. So this is the importance of drinking enough water during the day, get enough nutrients. And we also, this is also education wise. We know we can't get enough food from our diet. So we have to look at the right types of supplements that can support a healthy diet. I'm going to agree. I agree. There's a lot of information about specific supplements out there, but the basic foundation is how does that support your diet? And I represent a company like Samantha that we actually have science based. We know exactly what we're doing in regards to what's needed, but not everybody needs something. But how does it really work with what your healthy habits? And the biggest opportunity is really learning a new skill to find out your true potential for yourself because it's really important. And a lot of times, like people don't really embrace exercise like they really should be. And I'll leave it open right now in terms of questions and answers, because we can talk a little bit more about that. But my mission today was really because I know I spoke before, and sometimes I think I probably said the same thing, maybe a little different way. But at the same time, I want you to realize the impact of how important it is. Um, I know Cindy, maybe you can tell a story about what happened with you when you started working with me.
Oh gosh, how long has it been now, Evan? Has it been like
6 months, 7 months?
Oh,
Yeah.
no, I mean like when we started, was that like a couple of years ago or during the
Might
pandemic?
have been, yes. Yeah.
I
But it
think it
was
was
like
like,
after the first week.
yeah, the first week was really, really rough. I mean, like, it was hard because I didn't have enough energy, and strength to walk, do all that physical activity and my food. Oh my God, I wasn't eating enough food. I was like dehydrated. I was just feeling lethargic, like Evan says, body was tired. And plus I was like skinny. I wasn't like a healthy weight. So I was neglecting my own body and not eating the proper foods, which was not good for my health. I wasn't even realizing it until I met Evan and he was showing me the ropes and how to improve myself with this healthy eating plan and eating proper nutrients, vitamins, and drinking more water. And that's what I have this all the time. So I'm a healthy weight now, thank goodness, but I think at times I put on a few pounds or I go, I lose a few pounds, but it's healthy. It's not like abnormally slow or anything like that.
So can I share something you told me? I remember this very distinctly because I thought it was really,
Oh,
because it
yes,
was,
go
I
for it.
think it was after the first week and a half, didn't you tell me? Yeah, I think you mentioned to me that you felt some symptoms of the fibromyalgia.
Yes, I
With the
think I
lie,
remember that. Yep.
you
Hmm.
were lying on your bed waiting for it to start taking hold.
Right.
Then you woke up the next morning
Hmm.
and you had a good night's sleep.
Right. I think I remember that now. Hmm.
I'm not telling you that you did say that, right?
I believe I did, yes. And the pain was less and everything else. And I was just like complaining, oh my God, the fibro's acting up, my chronic fatigue, but now I just have more energy and I'm eating better and drinking more water and incorporating more physical exercise in my diet and my routine. So it really does help. So I appreciate you,
The
Evan.
thing, thanks for sharing that. And the thing is with like whatever it is, there's at least 27 different diseases that can be controlled or curtailed by diet and exercise alone.
Mhm,
But the most important is the muscle of your brain to really take on mentally what you've got to do. And learning a new it is learning a new skill set. It is being learning to be more disciplined. And sometimes being disciplined, if you don't have a healthy gut, you're gonna have an issue with is mental focus.
mhm,
So it's all kind of goes into play, and a lot of times when people work with me, they're very motivated. But it's like you doing the work and really learning and understanding how your body really works for you. Because I can say, well, this is what you should do. And sometimes it's better to work slow and steady to get you actively embracing the activities. And then all of a sudden, maybe if you're a little bored, it's okay. We can figure that out. If you
mhm,
get too intense, then all of a sudden now it's like you got to pull back and you think that's the way it's going to be. The more you feel better about yourself, the more you're going to be more involved in your own program and
mhm.
whatever it is, whether you work with me or somebody else or go on the internet and go on YouTube. And that's not the best way to do it, and there's a lot of information out there. So you need to be mindful of what's being said out there and also being mindful of science-based programs and nutritional supplements that are out there. And that's why it's very important to embrace that. And there's a lot of people that are going to give you advice, but listen to the ones you really trust. So I'll open it for questions. I'll let hear myself talk.
All right. Does anybody have any questions?
So let me ask, does anybody have an exercise routine they're doing right now? So what's working well with the routine? Are you incorporating strength training exercise in your routine right now?
Yes, I have weights and I have exercise bike and I have lots of tapes that I kind of turn on from time to time in the basement. When I'm doing wash, I wait for, the wash to be done. And I figure, well, I got good 45 minutes to an hour and I stick with it. And that's what we do around our yard work or shoveling snow or whatever it is. But it's like we try to have lots of fluids. We have yogurt in the house. We always have multivitamins that we take. I don't know. I think I'm trying to do a little bit more. My husband, I wish he'd do more, but I think it's helpful. I'm seeing a lot of problems with people that have backed up guts on all these diet supplements that are out there, and you have to wait 2 hours or 2 years, or I mean, 2 weeks before you have surgical procedures because the Manjaro, the Wegovy, and all these other ones. It's maybe not the answer for everybody, but it gets their A1C down lower when they're diabetic, but it's not the best situation. And I really don't want to be on any of these drugs, but I definitely have to cut the food out because I'm not losing weight. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but going up and down the stairs is still difficult for me with my knee. I've got to probably have a knee replacement. So I'm trying to do with what I can. I'm trying to put as many weights on something that I can. I wear arch supports when I'm out there 100% of the time. I do the CPAP 100% of the time. I'm just at a standstill. So when I go back to the endocrinologist, I don't know what she's going to come up with, but it's just not working. We had an egg in the morning and some toast, and You know, we try to watch it. Maybe we eat out more than we should. We'll try to share a meal if we do. We kind of know what's in food, protein. I have a brother that's vegan. He and his wife think that's the answer to everything. And I don't think that with my low iron levels, that's the way I want to be. So I'm trying.
I mean, the thing with that is, you know, if the question is, can you get enough nutrients from being a vegan? I know many people that are healthy that are vegans, but they're getting the proper nutrients they need in their diet overall. And a
Mhm.
lot of vegans or vegetarians that they're lacking in vitamin B and certain nutrients that they really can't get
And
from lean.
we're low calcium here. My husband low D. I got him out of the basement, working in his office in the basement to be on the main floor so he gets some sunshine. I take D3. I take calcium once in a while, but it's like they're so cautious on, oh, a whole Centrum Silver is too much when you have a thyroid condition. And I know you need to have multivitamins. I go to a skin doctor and like, baloney, your biotin, your nails are, you know, bad. Take biotin. And then I go to the internal medicine doctor and he says, oh, don't take biotin. It goes against your, you know, so it's like, and then we try to have it naturally in the fruits and the vegetables. We always have fresh stuff up, cut up, ready to go. So we're not like starving to grab something. And I don't know. I'm trying to do it all. And I just don't know. I mean, I've got umpteen self-help books and umpteen tapes and videos, but it's like, we're still not getting the job done. So,
Well, I was offering this to the rest of the group,
yeah.
of course. You know, if you would like to have a free consultation, we'll take 1 or 2 sessions to kind of look at your situation, and I can give you some guidelines based on what I believe.
Mhm.
Scientific studies that I really, and most times it's not. It's truly most times we're not eating enough the quality foods as well as, and that's even worse, not eating enough. And so
Yeah.
really looking at what you're actually eating. And my recommendation to everybody right now is really taking a food log for 5 days. Not, and I'm glad to send you one that I have that's really great.
Mhm.
And the thing is, for the 5 days, it's not really important about the calories that you're taking in, but what are you actually eating? Writing down, like, you know, what are you having for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and a snack? And then, you know, looking at it. And it's, then you get a clear, anybody can do that for 5 days, get a clear
Mhm.
picture of it and say, okay, what can I do? And I can, that's the thing is when you're working with a professional, you know, you're going to write stuff down or not. And we're all going to go to a situation where I can't do this. This is not working for me. But it's like also there's some good, honestly, there are some good things that you're doing. You need to be acknowledged for the good things you're doing as well, and that's what we can do too. And
Mhm.
then the one thing that you might be doing need to do differently, we can look and attack that or address that situation one thing at a time, because
Mhm.
it could be just one thing that makes a difference in how you're feeling and how you're
Mhm.
doing. And also too is if it impacts your sleep, that's going to screw everything up. So like really, and that's one reason why, like with the pap smear, you know, you have
Mhm.
trouble sleeping. There's other aspects to it as well. Um, but that's kind of like, you know, it's the opportunity is looking at how that really impacts you and look at where you're going to start.
Yep. I mean,
And
we have set
it's
times. We have set times for sleep. It's dark in the room. It's cold in the room. We've got everything going on there. There's no animals in the room, and you know we're sleeping soundly. But it's like they're even like with my husband's heart condition, they were considering whether his CPAPs were working right, and we'll be going to a cardiologist this coming Wednesday. We'll know what we can do, and it'd be nice if both of us kind of follow the plan. We did lose 50 pounds at one time with another weight loss program, and I know it's doable. So I'd rather than switching to a drug or whatever that's going to have a side effect for me anyway. So
well, we'll
well,
we'll schedule time to talk if you'd like.
mhm,
I'd be glad to do that. And
mhm.
so Dorothy, or I'm going to say Karen, but it's not
Yeah,
Karen. What's your
It's
name again?
Susan's her name.
Susan? Susan, I'm sorry, Susan.
That's
How about
okay.
yourself?
Well, I do not stick to a diet. I know I'm supposed to because of something that I have, but I definitely do not. I should go down, like Janet's talking about exercise bikes and everything, and I do not have one here, but I have access to it because I live in a condo and we have a gym downstairs. And I know I should be going there. or I should be using the swimming pool. As a matter of fact, I just got a message saying the sauna was closed again, which it always is. But anyway, the pool's available and I would rather swim, but I don't. So yeah, I know I definitely need to look after my
This is the
diet.
thing, and I realize it's scary, even for myself going into a gym or exercising, I think about this because, I know my way around the gym,
Right.
but I also, in certain situations, I don't feel like I mean, I can remember certain times where I felt like I don't want to go here because I don't feel comfortable in this
Yeah,
environment.
well, with me, most of that, like when I first moved here about 10 and a half years ago, I was going down and it was the temperature that they were keeping the room. Like I was cold and I was clammy and, and that's just not, I like my warmth. And so that's kind of why I never pursued it. So, I mean,
The temperature in the rooms are usually 65 degrees or so
yeah, and
because
that's too cold, and that's too cold for
eh,
me.
but as you exercise, you warm up and you'll be fine. But you got
Yeah,
to get to that
yeah,
point. So,
yeah,
but it's
Oh,
really important that's also too is like however you take a stand for this. I
right,
look at this as you're learning a new skill.
right.
You've got to do it. I'm just adamant. You've got to do it. And you
Yeah, I
can't, I
know I
mean,
have to do it and
and
I should be
I'm
doing
not,
it, but
Susan,
it's that
I'm
thing
not
that's like,
speaking to you in general. I'm just in general
no, no, no,
terms.
I know. I
You
hear
have to
you.
do it.
I hear you.
But I realize how daunting it is. And that's also like with all the information out there, sitting
Yeah,
down and saying, okay, this is the game plan for what I got to do
right,
and looking at how you attack it. And again,
right.
it, we know that we need to eat more vegetables and lean protein. We need to be
Oh,
getting
yeah,
28 grams or 35 grams of fiber per day. And depending who you talk to, 60 grams of protein to
right,
a your body weight in protein,
right.
or 1 gram per body weight. Okay.
And I do
But
not do
depending
that.
on what
I
organization,
definitely,
I know.
I might eat my fiber because I have cereal pretty much every morning. So I know I'm getting my protein. I mean, my fiber, but it's the protein I know I'm not getting.
So that's
So,
also too is looking at how that's supposed to be for yourself and looking at what's
right,
available to you. And that's
right,
where like looking at supplementation, how is that used in sort of your healthy habits? Because if I exercise and don't take enough nutrients and hydrate, you can screw the
right.
exercise. It doesn't matter. If
No,
you eat
agreed,
healthy,
agreed.
that's all you do, and you don't, and nourish the body with muscle, that's
Right.
not as good as appropriate.
Yeah,
And the
yeah,
same thing with drinking enough water. And we know we can't get it from nutrients, so how do supplements support each other, right?
right.
So really being mindful of that.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, I'm saying, oh, yeah, and whatever, but to get me actually to go ahead and do it is another story.
you can
Well,
do it,
I'll be
Susan.
glad to schedule time with you guys individually or we can set up a time to go through as a group, individual or as a group, a consultation of like what questions I would ask to be specific, and we can go through from there because we have a program that really can help you get your
Okay, I'll
mind right
see.
and also the ability to be able to do that. So
I'll see. But I'm always going out, so like I think that's another thing too. It seems like I'm never here. So yeah,
the
I'll
thing
get
is,
back to you on that.
no, that's fine. But the thing is, you're always here. I'm always here.
Right,
I'm always here. So I got to figure out how to navigate that. I mean, we all got a really busy life, but
right.
also to how to incorporate it. And someone said, eh, someone told me once, like, I have a very chaotic life, but in the chaotic life that you have, you find solace in that. You find time to do anything you want to do within that time period
Yeah,
because you
that's
want to.
true. That's
And then at the
true.
same time, this is also too, like when you're walking and trying to get healthy, it's like this is the discipline of how to embrace that and really learn,
Right.
okay, what do I need to be doing next and be focused on it. And so you can start feeling the benefits of it because it's overwhelming. It truly is.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna
yeah.
lie. But
I had a couple questions for you, Evan, if you still have
Sure,
some.
yes. You got
What-
like 3 or 4 minutes.
okay, and I think Dorothy popped back in too. I don't know if I'll have time to
Dorothy, good to see you
reintroduce.
again.
Hi. Yeah, sorry, I had another unexpected call I was on.
The one question I had is, for people that are that are disabled or in wheelchairs, what kind of exercises would you recommend for them if they don't have the full range of motion or they can't really do like, jogging or exercise, like fast-paced exercises if they're confined to a
It's a good
wheelchair?
question. It does depend on, how the wheelchair, I mean, upper mobility is important because also at the same time, that creates independence because if they can do exercise to improve core strength and
Mhm.
also arm strength to be able to push their wheelchair a little bit easier,
Okay,
and also if they can get up off the chair, there's things that we can do to help them. They may be able to be somewhat mobile, but they just can't walk around but the priority would be to strengthen the core muscles in the low back. And then also too is arm strength to be able to push the wheelchair around. And also even flexibility and mobility exercises because they need to stress those muscles even though they're not using the leg muscles that much.
okay. And how about for senior citizens? What kind of exercises do you recommend
I
for
don't
them? Or is
believe in
that
senior
just for?
citizens.
No, I'm
I don't
not.
believe in talking about senior citizens.
Well,
I don't.
you know? I mean, we have some members in our group that are like in advanced years, and I just wanted to get some insight from you.
No, I'm kidding. I mean,
Right.
I'm not. I
That
wasn't
isn't
born
me yet,
yesterday
but
too.
anyway.
I wasn't born yesterday too. So
Right.
anyway, but the thing is really looking at mobility exercises to stretch the hamstrings. And also, like that's also when I meet with someone, we go through a certain series of movements to identify if you. One of the important things that when you sit down and stand up, going to the bathroom or sitting down in a chair, you might have issues getting up.
Mhm.
Is it lack of mobility in the ankles or the hand and around the hips? In terms of flexibility. If those are tight, you might have very much an issue of standing up and sitting down, valuing that. So those are crucial in mobility. Range of motion exercises, depending on someone's issue in terms of is there stuff going on with the spine, you might not do any rotational exercises. So that's something you have to be mindful of too. But at the same time, looking at okay, how do I have more flexibility in the hamstrings to stretch those out, and also calf muscles to help you walk. Now, the more you walk, the more you need to be more work on your flexibility and mobility as well.
Hmm. Okay.
And then also a lot of things too in terms of shoulder mobility. Shoulder mobility. If you're not mobile in the shoulders, you can have shoulder pain. Or one of the things, if someone's disabled and they have a walker, if the walker's not set up correctly, you're going to be pushing down,
Mhm.
putting more stress on the shoulder. That creates
Yeah,
more
I'm used to-
instability in the shoulder, and you wonder why you have to go to the doctor to get shoulder problems. So really important. This is also why it's important to do mobility
Yeah,
and
my
strength
mom
training
used to do that
exercises.
all the time. She's always tightening her shoulder because she said when she was using her walker, she was stressing with it. And yeah, so
Yeah. So, um, I want to thank everybody. I hope this was good for you.
definitely
I-
was.
It was. Thank
definitely.
you.
So, if you, Cindy, if you want to give them, I can put my link in the chat, and they can, schedule time with me, and we can go from there. And I always love coming here. So if you guys want any more information, be glad to talk more.
That would be wonderful. And I think Dorothy,
Yeah.
she was on the call. I don't know if you wanted to reintroduce yourself to the group since it's coming close to the end, or I mean, it's up to you, Dorothy.
Just briefly, I think everybody knows my little bio. I've had fibromyalgia for over 30 years. Had a very frustrating time at first because nobody knew a lot about fibromyalgia back then, and everybody said, "Oh, it's all in your head, or you're anxious, or you're that." So anyway, after many years of struggling with it, and all kind of tests and procedures, finally got a diagnosis of fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue. And so I have to say the support groups have really helped. Although I don't wish any pain on anybody else, it's nice to know sometimes that people understand and that you're not alone. So.
Right.
Thanks for sharing. So I left my Calendly link in the chat there. and we can do a one-to-one. Now I'm gonna do this for you because I usually have an assessment process, but for this group, I'm gonna do 2 sets, and this is just to get to know you session. We're a bit more comfortable. Then we can schedule a separate time for the actual consultation.
Oh,
Okay. So that's the link in the chat there for us to get together on an individual basis or etc.
I was muted, sorry. I said, thank you so much, Evan. That was a great presentation.
Thank you.
I
So
guess
yeah,
I'm gonna stop the recording, by the way.